On to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And off we go from Nashville. And bulldozing his way through. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. Leading him out is their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Miami.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
He completes it to Ridley. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 23 yards, the final tally.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive.
Well, it certainly felt like he was going to challenge this defense no matter what, and he stepped up and tried to throw it to the outermost edge of the zone coverage, and they were more than ready for him. The problem now is if they are limited in what they're doing throwing the football, they got to figure out how to move it without being able to throw it to the outside and throw it downfield.
So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And you'd think as a young QB there'd be some nerves leading an offense out to start a game, but haven't seen any sign of them right now. And speaking with him earlier this week, sensed that the pressure wouldn't get to him. He feels comfortable being the face of this offense and shouldering the expectations on game day, even if he doesn't quite have the years of experience other quarterbacks do.
Yeah, you only get a 1-yard buffer there from the line of scrimmage, and he got downfield a little too far, and the flag came out. To throw is Howard. From the gun, he'll throw. Got his man, it's Warren. Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 28. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Jalen Warren, 28 yards. And the Steelers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. Now remember, the last time out, they threw the interception. That led to the touchdown, so now time to regroup.
It certainly is, and their goal right now as they go back out on the field, a calming drive, something that takes the ball, keeps it for a while, lets the defense relax a little bit, and lets the offense regain confidence in their game plan.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a 1st down.
Defensively going forward, they're going to have to watch out for him on plays just like that. It's a drag route across the field, and they're trying to free him up and let him run after the catch. That won't be the last time we see that play, and it works there to pick up a 1st down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here is 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Ward. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Anytime they think they've got him open beyond the markers, you know they're going to throw it his way. And that's not going to change even after that incompletion was forced.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Deep to return is Calvin Austin. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Howard now throwing to start the drive. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. It's Jeffrey Simmons that time who got in to record the sack.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them. and they get their first sack of the contest.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Looking to throw. Howard. A short one there to Freiermuth. So the completion good for 7 there. And 3rd and 8 now. Back to throw. Howard. And this one is incomplete.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3 and out.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Back deep, the former All-Pro Tyler Lockett. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt, and it'll be Titan football. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a 1st down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Operating from the gun, Ward. This one caught by Ridley. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down. Off the bootleg, Ward. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
Left side complete to Lockett. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
Pollard will take it up the gut. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Steelers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
I think he thought he had his first read open on that one, but they were obviously ready for that throw, and that's just a lack of experience showing. Young quarterback stared his man down the whole way, and they were more than happy to sit on that route and bring home the INT.
And now out come the Steelers. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable 2nd down.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
I don't care what anyone says. I want a big-time back gaining this kind of yardage each and every time I step on the field. A tone setter, these guys are hard to find.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Howard. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a 1st.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a 1st-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the 1st down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up 2nd down. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
On the give, it's Warren. And he is going to get this close to the 1st down markers. He's brought down at the Titans' 13-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. Now run with Warren. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. 47 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to set, as you've said, a stop.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. DK Metcalf from 6 yards away. And the Steelers are off to a 13-0 first-quarter lead. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Extra point now by Boswell. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first-quarter lead. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
2nd down, Pollard again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And a great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. That'll go as a pickup of 8. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Tennessee, and it's the homestanding Titans in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Pollard going to try the right side, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. T.J. Watt, always a disruptor, there to blow that play up.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Here's Pollard again. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Third and 9 here. Back to throw. Ward. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick 6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick 6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
Boswell for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but The way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. Out of the gun, a give to Pollard. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. It's caught. Lockett. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that will bring up 2nd down. They'll run left with Pollard. And some room to maneuver. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 66 yards rushing for him, as he has been tough to stop here this 1st half. There was a great article in the paper yesterday about how he likes to run angry. Plays like that, you can feel it, can't you?
As long as he doesn't drive angry, we're okay. Because when he's on the field, that anger works for him. It fuels him, it powers him, and the end result runs like that.
1st down, and it's Pollard again. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
From the 35, here's 2nd down and 8. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Here's 2nd and 8. He'll complete this one to Okonkwo. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the 1st down sticks are, and get there.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Second down and a little more than a yard here. In motion, the tight end. Finding Lockett for the catch here on the out route. And that'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another 1st down on the pickup of 5 yards. A give to Pollard running left. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Going to run again here with Pollard. And maybe Shane's in the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Calvin Ridley from 13 yards out. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit. Charles, that's a pretty good response from a rookie quarterback. He's had his struggles in this game, including the interception on the last drive, but there he takes him down the field and puts it in the end zone.
I agree with everything you just said right there, and there's a silver lining to all of this, his resiliency. Because let's face it, when things are going bad and you're a youngster, they often continue to go bad. But in his mind and his actions, he said, this stops right here. And how about the positive play he just turned in?
Folk connects on the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's Calvin Ridley who finishes it off with a touchdown reception. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
From the 33, here's 2nd down and 7. A handoff for Warren. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
This now a 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Howard. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt. 3 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Titans on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Ward. Here's a screen now for Pollard. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 17 yards on that play for the Titans.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
They're going to empty the backfield here, so you know this ball's likely to come out quick. They let the 4 outside receivers run deeper routes and then let the tight end just make a beeline across the formation. He's able to make the catch and turn it into good yardage and a 1st down.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. The time is called. Looks like a member of the Titans in some discomfort out there. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Out of the gun to give to Spears. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 25-yard line. A gain of 22.
And maybe that touchdown on the previous drive has re-energized this offense a little bit. They've been kind of sluggish until then, but they're showing signs of life here, and they get good yardage that time and a 1st down.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. This complete to Lockett. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Back to throw. Ward. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. Back to throw again. The throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Tyler Lockett. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Titans get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Now Folk for the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it ends with a Tyler Lockett touchdown. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Howard. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Here's 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Now Howard, a final shot before break. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We saw a solid first half out of running back Jaylen Warren. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. We saw a couple of high-octane offenses getting it done in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you'd have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Steeler offense ready to get going to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
A throw out wide to Woods, complete. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen, did not let him get downfield.
Second down and 8. Now run straight ahead with Warren. 4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first. Looking to throw. Howard. Looking this time for Woods, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind. And we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
So now out comes this offense, led by their quarterback as they take over once more. On 1st and 10, it's Spears. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He completes it to Ridley. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Now Ward operating from the gun. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
Throw to the right, caught by Okonkwo. So he gets too far beyond the line, and that's an easy call for the official.
Still 1st down.
Hand off to Spears. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. From the 10-yard line, here's 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Ward. And it's a Titans touchdown. Tyler Lockett with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Titans are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
And 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
On for the extra point is Folk. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a Tyler Lockett touchdown. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Steelers ready to take over on offense. They'll need to regroup after the costly interception last time. It led to a tying touchdown. 21-all is where we stand, and they've got it 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
Howard from the gun on 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Off the draw. Here's Johnson. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
On the give, it's Warren. 64 yards rushing for him now to this point.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
2nd and 9. On the run, it's Warren. And he is going to get this close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the Titans 14. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches. They'll run it. Warren. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The running game's played a huge part in getting them down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
They go play action here on 1st down. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Sebastian Joseph Day breaking through for the sack.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Now a run with Warren. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Howard. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Calvin Austin from 4 yards out. And the Steelers have taken the lead. An out route there for the score. A quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands. Knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
Extra point now by Boswell. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. A 10-play drive that time. And in the end, a Calvin Austin touchdown grab finished the drive off. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fighting his way through contact. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets. And it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
2nd and 10. Back to throw. Ward. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. That is caught, and he will have a Titans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. He hits his target, Lockett. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. On the option, here's Spears. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. And Spears with another carry. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield and spilling everything.
45 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Talk about controlling the football and controlling a drive. And with runs like that, they'll continue to do exactly that.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. And here's a give to Spears. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here's Nick Folk now on for the field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Folk's kick is good, and that'll bring him back within 4. So give him 3 on that drive. You know, normally you'd say we'll take it, but the way points have been flying around, it feels like a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, you just have to wonder, are field goals going to be enough? Because as you pointed out, the way touchdowns have been scored, does kicking a field goal actually put you at a disadvantage the rest of the way?
After the made field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The visitors' offense and their running back Jaylen Warren headed back onto the field. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the 3rd quarter. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about seeing defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Nashville. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. 2nd and 11. This is caught. It's Woods. And out across midfield down to the 45. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Here's Warren. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Here's Howard. From the gun, he'll throw. He gets this one to Johnson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 32-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that earns him a fresh set of downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. It's Warren. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Howard to the right side and complete to Metcalf. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. This offense so far on 3rd down, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. Bad place to fumble down here in the red zone. At least they got it. They'll have another shot. Or no, they won't have another shot. It's going to be 4th down. Maybe they can at least salvage 3.
And they were thinking 6 points because at this position of the field, it's go time, right? You take your shots at the end zone. They weren't able to do that one. So you look over at the sideline. There's the head coach saying, oh, heck, kick it, field goal time.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This will get the lead up to 7. Boswell's kick is good, and that'll make this a 7-point game. Well, no field goal attempts for him until the final quarter, but no hesitation on his end. He comes right out and nails his first field goal try.
And give him a lot of credit, too, because he stood there the entire ball game, but has managed to stay with it both mentally and physically. When they called on him, he was ready, and he knocked it through the posts.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Titans offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Ward. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one.
And such a close game, a very big one. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies.
Oh, they come after him, and it's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And they'll take possession of it at a great spot at the 25-yard line. Well, that's tough. You're trailing here in the 4th. Your margin for error is slim, and you get the punt blocked.
And when I played on punt teams, you did not want to hear on the field a second thud because you always heard it come off the punter's foot. But that second one meant something bad. That meant a block. Down on the field, that's exactly what they heard. And now they're in a really tough situation.
They'll run on 1st down. Warren. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on 2nd down.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. Running left, it's Warren. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
On 3rd down, it's Warren. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional loss or an occasional bad play along the way, but all in all, they have to like what they've done.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the big return had them fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a 1st down.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a two-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down. Back to throw. Ward. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Gets around him. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Got his man, Okonkwo. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down, Titans, gain of 12.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Again, he'll drop to throw. Left side complete to Lockett. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Now a 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Ward. And he gets this one to Ridley, complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 32-yard line. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Ward. He finds his man, Pollard. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception, and that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
2nd and 9 now. Pollard here once again, back-to-back catches. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 4.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Folk's kick is good, and this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
After the made field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block. but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. To throw is Howard. Throwing to start the drive. A short one there to Freiermuth. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still second down.
They are pushed back 5 yards by the delay of game, 2nd and 8. Off play action. Howard. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Now a handoff up the middle. Warren, and he is going to have the first down, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll try and run down some clock with Johnson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A handoff for Warren. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. From the 47 now, they'll work with a 2nd and 7. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he is going to have a Steeler 1st down. All smiles on that sideline. That should be the one to do it. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Warren, and he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
Howard now from the gun on 3rd down. It'll go as a gain of 9, and that should write an ending to this one. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. Well, this ball game was close throughout. Remember, it was neck and neck at intermission, neck and neck at the end, but a great job to come in here in a tough environment, Charles, and get the victory.
Yeah, tough environment indeed. How about all the people we can hear shouting from their seats right below us, partner? They weren't real happy that their team didn't keep the home field. How about how these visitors came in, calm every step of the way, even with all the pressure, and found a way to get out of here with a win.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Nashville.